people who think Gourd sucks have skill issues. Gourd is the easiest and most powerful mage against all assassin heroes. Putting Gourd to F section is a big cringe. Gourd is really good to secure objective like Onyx Sunset in MPL.
You serious?
Putting Gourd in trolling time, you clearly don't know how powerful he is. Putting Gourd that low is criminal.
You going to jail?
Gourd is the best mage, especially now, and you cannot say otherwise, Nico.
Huh?
Yes, I can. Into the trash with you. Okay, let's get serious for a moment. Today we're going to answer the question I've been asked a million of times before already. Is hero 𝐷𝐸𝐳 good, Nico? Why is 1-1 still in the S tier? I lose every game with her. Why is hero 𝐷𝐸𝐳 in the F tier? I got a 121% rate with him, and that means you suck with that hero, and in general, you just suck, delete ML, noob. Or simplified, should you always pick the current meta heroes or rather go for your comfort pick? Why did the debate even start? And most importantly, which side are you on right now? To understand this whole mess, you have to understand the difference between the two. Meta is short for most effective tactics available. In this case, meta heroes just mean strong heroes that can be played in every situation. So, what makes some heroes meta? Of course, it is I who decides which heroes are meta heroes. I'm just kidding, guys. Please don't leave. The answer lies in the nature of MOBA games. In every season, you will see at least 2 patches to fix the balance in the game, and in that process, you will always have some heroes who receive a buff to perform better. They deal bigger damage, can sustain more hits, have faster mobility for rotation, or stronger CC effects compared to their peers. And sometimes they get completely overbuffed, like my dear 1-1. Some other heroes, on the other hand, will be nerfed to the ground or simply left to rot in the Moonton dungeon. So in short, the one in control to make a hero meta or trash is the Moonton balancing team. Another reason why heroes become meta are the frequent battlefield and item adjustments. I mean, who hasn't heard about this cursed item yet? When this piece of garbage was firstly released, all the support healers suddenly rose into the meta as they could counter all of the burst heroes with a sudden wall of shield or heal, and they could fit well into pretty much most lineups. And if you need another perfect example, just take a look at the Lord adjustment that deals damage based on the target's max HP. Tank junglers used to be able to fight the Lord essentially on the bed, the riverbed, but this simple change hurted them a lot and the meta shifted back to the old school assassin. Of course, tank junglers are still a viable option, but they won't be as dominating and popular as they were in the previous seasons. Finally, there are the unique mechanics. Some heroes are just built differently and they're harder to counter. For example, Joy used to be immune to CC when she dashes around using her second skill. But after the revamp, her immunity was changed to her ultimate, and even though this counts as a nerf for her, you can easily tell how this change actually affected her performance by checking her stats. And as we can see, Joy is still very highly rated and is within the top 10 best win rates at the moment. The highlight of her mechanics are her mobility and CC immunity, and basically the only way to counter this is using the suppression effect from Kaja or Franco. So, case closed, it's obvious that meta picks are always the best, as they fit into pretty much every team and always perform well against any enemy, right? Well, slow down, champ, we're only 3 minutes in. Even though they are called meta picks, it doesn't actually mean that every meta hero will always work 100% of the time. You can pick a hero that has almost always been a meta hero like Fanny, but there are still some requirements that need to be fulfilled in order to win a game by using this hero. For example, Mastery. No, not that yellow badge on the loading screen, because it literally means nothing. There are a ton of reasons why people still rely on their comfort picks and refuse to use the current meta heroes. It could be that the playstyle of a certain hero perfectly fit their own style. It could be that the role just fits their character, or it could be as simple as they just like the appearance of the hero itself. Or that they already spent hundreds of dollars or thousands of pesos on way too expensive skins. For example, Alucard and Dairoth are popular amongst the boys, while cute characters like Nana and Angela are favorite picks among the girls. Fredrin checks all the daddy material, while Chang'e is considered waifu material for people with sick mental as she's already over 1000 years old. It is natural that everyone have a different taste and likes different heroes. My top 3 are, for example, the heroes I used right when I was starting playing Mobile Legends. Badang Jawhead and obviously Won, and I still have the most matches with these 3 heroes. The same goes for almost every other player as well, and all of them will eventually spend a lot of matches using them. This means they will fully understand the mechanics of their favorite heroes like the back of their own hand, which includes all skill combos, their power spikes, the way you engage into a team fight, and every other micro skill that you can only learn by spending countless of hours together with that one hero. In the end, you can pick the most broken hero ever made and still lose most of your matches simply because you didn't know how to use them correctly. For example, even though Nana is much more inferior compared to Valentina, my experience from this amount of matches is more than enough to outplay the enemy. Especially when you face a player that only has a few matches with that set hero. In this match, I simply overwhelm my enemies with experience. I knew the fact that Valentina gains HP and XP by poking her enemies, so I focused on clearing the minion waves instead of trading blows with her in the early game. I simply knew her limits compared to the average Nana player. I knew which hero to target, who to avoid, when to rotate and how to engage. I knew what to do in emergency situations, how to escape the pinch, what items to build when facing a certain heroes, and so on and so on. I even have the complete understanding on her damage calculation, which is why I'm not afraid of Mia in the early game. I even land another basic attack while retreating before sending out my flame shot to secure the kill. These micro skills are often underestimated by many players. In reality, you can do amazing plays by just mastering a single damage calculation, especially in ganks or maybe while stealing a turret away from the enemies. In a team fight, Nana is very vulnerable against burst and agile heroes like Paquito, but Nana also provides annoying CC and burst that can counter frontline enemies, which in this case means everyone in the enemy's team. Mia and Valentina doesn't have a very long range, while the rest of the enemies are pretty much melee heroes. So I knew I will be fine as long as I stay behind. I just made sure to plant a lot of Molinas and be ready to follow up after any engage from Atlas. Mastering a single hero will shoot your performance into another stratosphere. And since I have spent so many games playing with Nana since my early days, each and every combo turned into muscle memory for me, so I win a lot more games with her. So that is basically the final proof that comfort picks always beat the random meta pick. Right? Not really. We've been talking about the good things meta and comfort picks give to you, so it's time for us to roast both sides. First, as we already mentioned before, meta heroes always change after every patch. You can spend a lot of time mastering that one really strong hero, just for him to get nerfed on the next day. If you need a perfect example, Almond used to be an S-tier jungler back in the day. He could combine his ult plus retribution combo to deal massive damage against the turtle and lord, making the objective fight seem unfair towards his enemies. But then, after a few big nerfs on his true damage and the race of the other junglers, he was basically left behind by the players and developers, rotting in the corner with the lowest win rate in history and close to zero pick rates. Now recently he went back to the top tier, but I'm sure you're seeing the issue here. For over a year, Balmo was more or less out of the meta, and if you only think that happened to Balmo because Moonton thinks he's ugly, take a look at Beatrix, the golden child of Moonton. Despite being granted the exclusive M4 skin just over a year ago, Moonton didn't hesitate one bit to destroy her performance with huge nerfs. This resulted in a big dip on her statistics with a low win rate of 45% across the tiers. I can't imagine the betrayal that Beatrix mains felt right now. Talking about betrayal, it's quite related to the second point, because it's about the learning curve it takes to master each hero. I'll out myself for this example. We all know that Yuzong is a solid pick ever since his first release. And even though there were some hiccups on his performance, The adjustments never really kicked him out of the meta for the XP lane. His performance is actually quite stable for a strong hero. But learning how to play Yu-Zhong is a total different thing than mastering his gameplay. It might be easier for the young ones as they are quicker to adapt and learn new things, but for old men like me, mastering the new mechanics felt like a big wall to overcome. And in the end he just doesn't suit my playstyle, which is why I never fully mastered him. The same goes especially for the ones that need quick hands like Ling or Fanny. I mean, I can't even catch one sword probably, let alone do things like 𝐃𝐤𝐬𝐧. There is a saying about not teaching an old trick to a new dog. Wait, wasn't it the other way around? Whatever. In short, there will always be heroes that completely doesn't suit your playstyle. And why should you force yourself to learn a hero when you're just not having fun playing them? Finally, there's another factor called free time. Mastering a hero is not easy as it can't be done overnight. It requires a lot of knowledge and practice, and it demands a lot of free time and effort to be the very best like no one ever was. People who play MLBB casually will have a hard time to master all the meta heroes. And if we're being perfectly honest here, most players who downloaded the game are casual players. They're mostly playing for fun, to hang out with friends, or just to kill some free time between the class. The combination of these three things will raise the difficulty tremendously. You literally need to change how you play and how much time you spend with the game, or your mom will be dishonored by your teammates. For example, I'm pretty good at handling Ruby. But even though Ruby and Yu-Zhong are both fighters, the way you play them is totally different. As Ruby, you mostly engages the enemy from the front, but Yu-Zhong needs to flank the enemies from behind. And if you're not used to this new gameplay, your brain will eventually overload with information. Because when you play a new hero with a new playstyle, you not only need to pay attention to the micro details like skill combos and itemization, you also have to focus on the macro management like hero targeting and the optimal route for rotation. Failing to do so means you'll start to make mistakes. One mistake will eventually lead to another, and the plan that you had in your mind can be ruined just because you're not used to the situation. When I'm playing as Ruby, I'm used to do multiple dashes after every skill shot, the regeneration is instant, and you can make use of minion waves to recover the lost HP. But Yu-Zhong's passive regen can only be triggered by enemy heroes. He might deal bigger damage, but he can only dash once. And mastering these small differences can decide your fate in a life or death situation. I know of course the basic combos to play Yu-Zhong, how he rotates, how to zone the enemies. For example, here I'm trying to zone out Popol so our Roger can take the turtle in peace. But all of my knowledge about him is on a surface level. When you're not so used to playing the meta hero, all of those planning and perfect scenarios inside of your head suddenly went poof, gone. I blanked out and made an obvious mistake. I went too deep and unnecessarily lost my life in the process. That's why we have a big team behind the scenes so we can ensure every hero is mastered by at least one person. Anyway, those are the general disadvantages of picking meta heroes. So let's talk about why comfort picks sucks as well. As the name suggests, comfort picks are completely different from meta heroes. The only person who is comfortable with that hero is you. Meanwhile, the rest of your teammates will be forced to adjust to your unusual pick. There's a good reason why the best heroes are called meta heroes. They can easily fit into many tactics and provide a lot more flexibility for your allies. Remember, every game is unique and you will fight against different lineups every time. No matter how godly you are when you're using Freya, it is never a wise decision to use her as a roamer. Just ask Venus, even a pro player admitted it was a mistake. Every hero have their limitations. Unless it's a tank Layla, of course. Nobody can counter the almighty tank Layla. While mastering one hero is helpful to gain an advantage over the inexperienced players, the second thing that puts you at a disadvantage is the trust from your allies. I mean, when was the last time you played seriously when your teammate chose Layla as the first pick? Yeah, Right. If you do these things, people will often start to blame you as a troll, especially if you pick the infamous clown hero like this guy. Whoops, sorry, old habits die hard. Now, what will happen when your allies have trust issues with your pick? Exactly. Everybody will just pick their signature hero no matter if it makes sense or not. Some will start to troll around although you never meant to be trolling. Your mother will definitely get insulted, and the enemy will laugh at you because the game was just way too easy. The next bad thing about comfort picks is the most obvious one. The power is much lower than the average meta heroes. For the sake of that argument, let's say I can split myself in half. Nico A will learn how to master Brody, and Nico B will learn how to master Beatrix. Both of me have the same time spent in training, so it's a fight between two heroes with the same pilot. The only thing that will decide the end result is the raw hero power and their skill set. While Beatrix has fallen out of the meta thanks to the series of nerfs, Brody has a pretty consistent performance and stable results on every patch. No matter how comfortable I would become using Beatrix in the current patch, Nico B will always end up losing against Nico A simply because I fight myself with a better weapon. Well, that was a bit confusing, but I'm sure you get my point. So after learning all the goods and the bads, does it affect your choice? Did you finally decide which side is the best option? Please let me know your reasons in the comments, because now I will give you my conclusion to this never-ending debate while you start writing. Which one is the best? Meta picks or comfort picks? And the answer is pretty simple. Just make a meta hero your comfort pick. If you want to win the game, you need to put some effort into it to achieve it. Meta picks are stronger than the regular heroes, that is an undeniable fact. But without proper mastery, those meta heroes are nothing but empty shells. You have to learn and be comfortable using them, and the best way to understand the hero is through trial and error. It is not going to be an easy journey to learn new mechanics for a new hero, but the payoffs are so worth the wait. Mastering new heroes over time will widen your hero pool and strategy options in the draft pick, which means you will always have a spare option when your main got nerfed to the ground. Or even better, when your main would be countered by the enemies, you can just swap to another hero and avoid being useless AF. Sadly, there will always be those players who think mastering Alucard is enough to carry them to mythical glory, and while it's possible to reach mythical glory with a 49% win rate, these players need to spend hundreds of games to reach that point in every single season. Still, don't get me wrong, of course. This doesn't mean that you have to master all of the 120 heroes. For a normal player who wants to reach mythical glory, a hero pool of 10 to 15 different heroes is easily enough. Unless you mastered 15 mid lane mages, of course. In the end, Mobile Legends is a team game. You have to adjust to your teammates to build the best team comps and win against your enemies. Being egoistical often results in a bad outcome, and things won't be as fun if you refuse to cooperate with your teammates. Teamwork makes dreamwork. Pictures. What? Now check out this video where we show you the secret how you can deal insane damage with the tank while using tank items. See you over there!